mission, I suggest that you get out my way. Spreading my messages and I don't care what people say. I've been a sinner, yeah, but I ain't never been a saint. I'm only trying to be better than I was. I'm on a mission, I suggest that you get out my way. Spreading my messages and I don't care what people say. I've been a sinner, yeah, but I ain't never been a saint. I'm only trying to be better than I was yesterday.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Seeking Truth podcast. Rebranding the name, changing it up a little bit. New logo to come soon. Check that out.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, an edited logo because right now I've got the old title on it. But I got a really special guest with me today, guys. Probably the best guest ever. This is my middle son, Benjamin Martel. He's AKA Big Bro Ben. Hey, before we do anything here, how about you promote your YouTube channel, dude?
Yeah, well, I guess some people might be watching on the YouTube channel, but, most people are going to be coming from your podcast. I guess I'm from Big Bro Ben. If you're watching, like and subscribe.
So YouTube channel. Yeah. So if they just search Big Bro Ben, on YouTube, they'll find your channel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So check it out. Subscribe, like the videos. If you're into gaming and watching kids play games, that's the channel to check out.
Yeah.
This is my second time doing an in-person podcast episode.
Yeah.
And already I can tell that this one's a million times better.
Yeah.
You were there for the first one.
Yeah, this is actually my second time on the show.
That's true. Nobody saw your face last time or heard you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was in the Cameron Whitcomb episode.
That's right. Yeah, that episode was massive stress for me. But that was a fun trip.
We got to have dinner with the band. We got to go to the concert. That was insane.
Yeah, Ben came with me to Vancouver Island in the summer when someone on his team offered for me to come in and do an in-person interview with him. And at first I was like, no, this is not like my regular gig. I don't do this for a living. I don't know how to do tech. I don't know what I'm doing. I just didn't really want to do it. But we figured it out, rented the equipment. We flew out. If you guys watched the episode, technically it was a disaster, but it was an amazing experience. Ben was there for the whole time. We did have dinner with the band. We were there for sound check. We were on the stage for the show. It was amazing. Or right at the stage. It was good times.
Yeah. Like I was holding onto the stage like this.
Yeah. So I want to do an episode with Ben today because, I'm going to give you guys some background on Ben's story and what Ben's been through. I'm assuming you're totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm totally fine.
Like with everything?
With absolutely everything.
With the greatest details, worst details you could even think of?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be powerful, guys.
Oh, yeah.
But what really triggered this is that, because you guys have obviously heard some of the stuff, you've heard me speak about Ben on the show before.
Yeah.
But Ben just completed one of the craziest, toughest challenges that most people will never even consider starting. And it was
I'll go get the proof. Oh wait, the proof is right here.
Oh yeah, no, and I already I also already shared a post with your result of that.
This.
All right.
It's backwards, but
so basically he completed a year-long challenge that is focused on mental toughness. That's why I'm wearing my 75 hard shirt today. But we'll talk about the program. We'll talk about your success with that, your challenges through it. But if you're cool with it, can I start with talking about your challenges and what life was like prior to you doing this program?
Yeah. I think that's going to be it's probably going to be one of the biggest parts of this episode.
Would you prefer that I share those details, or do you want to share about some of them, or do you want me to lead it?
share some too.
You'll jump in whenever. All right. So on the surface, and maybe some of you guys have watched the previous episodes and you know some of the details, but basically Ben was the latest diagnosis was that he was diagnosed with Lyme disease. But it didn't start with Lyme disease. It started way before that. So I would say that I probably started suspecting something was up in 2019. And actually, I was thinking about this the other day. It was like during your basketball, when you were doing basketball in Mississauga. And that was a long time ago. But I just started noticing your behavior was starting to change when interacting with the public, with other kids, with structure, where prior to that, there wasn't any issues. Now, you've been through a lot even prior to that. I mean, you were born without a dislocated hip.
Yeah. I mean, not without one, but it was basically useless.
It wasn't formed yet.
Yeah, it was basically useless because I couldn't walk on it.
You were breached at birth, and then we've discovered close to a year that when you were a year old that you had hip dysplasia. Or I think the official diagnosis was a hip dislocation or something, but basically you're in a spica cast, which was crazy because half your body was covered in a cast.
Yeah, I don't even remember the cast. I only learned this from hearing a story when I think I was like maybe 8, watching Caleb play Apex with his friends, and he was talking about how they removed my cast with a chainsaw.
Yeah, brutal. They had to do that twice because they changed the cast halfway through your recovery because you're growing. So this is the thing: is you had a cast where you had one full leg covered, the other leg, the cast started above the knee, and it went all the way up to your chest, and you had a hole for your belly for expansion of when you would eat, and you had a hole in your crotch area so that we could like stuff a diaper in there. And God forbid a diaper would leak because there's nothing you could do about it, right? I don't think it ever happened, but like it's a thing we stressed about all the time, right? The thing that was brutal too is that you had just started learning you were just starting to walk prior to that surgery.
Oh, that's the worst time to do it because you're just like stiff.
So actually, and part of it too is that the cast is formed in a position where you are not standing and you're not sitting. It's like an in-between position.
Oh, so it's kind of like this?
Yes, with your legs out.
Oh, so like this?
Correct, exactly like that.
That sucks.
It's a great thing you don't remember.
And I hurt just like this.
So this is like so this is the thing that Ben went through, and then 2019, and I share all that because in 2019 it was kind of important, is that the hip was forming really, really well. Things were developing really well. But doctors felt that, we should put some pins in there to kind of close it up to avoid arthritis from happening in like his teen years. And that type of surgery later in life would be way more disruptive than at that time. So we thought, okay, fine, we'll do it. We'll get the pins in. And I think it was projected to be like in the winter or spring of 2020. And then we got a call in the fall of 2019 to say, hey, bring him in. We got an opening.
I thought we did it before Jackson was born.
Jack was born in 2019, September 2019, I believe. So we did it.
No, I was born in September. He was born in like February.
Right, my bad. February. So he was born earlier that year.
Oh.
And then you did in that fall. He was like a brand new baby.
Yeah. Which is why he doesn't remember.
Most babies are brand new. But so you get this call, we do the surgery, we did, the whole thing where we went to sick kids, took advantage of the spaghetti factory, turned it into like a little trip. But yeah, unfortunately, he gets the pins put in, and then he lost his ability to walk for, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 months.
I think it was.
You were in a wheelchair for a long time.
Yeah. I remember this one memory of going pee. It was not a fun time. You had to pick me up while I was going pee.
Yeah, I had to put you on the toilet every time.
Yeah.
I had to carry you around the house. We
Yeah.
had walkie-talkies so that,
Oh yeah, the walkie-talkies. I actually had one charging, hoping that it'd turn on, and then I could maybe find another walkie-talkie.
I think we have them around somewhere. But yeah, so you had a walkie-talkie in your room in case you woke up in the middle of the night and come see you. It was a big mission. So you went through that, and then in 2020, COVID came. We had also a cool family trip in between all that, right? We
Yeah.
went to Disney.
Yeah.
Just snuck it in before COVID came. But what really started to unfold is that Ben started experiencing tremendous anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I'm pretty sure part of that was due to the hip, but I'm pretty sure most of it was from the Lyme disease.
right. So, basically the journey took us through a time when, he in Ontario was where we lived at the time.
Yeah.
Schools kept closing down and reopening. They had, they were wearing masks. They were doing at-home learning on the laptop. And what would happen is that Ben would kind of go crazy. He would destroy a room probably once to three times a day for no
Oh yeah.
reason. Just rage.
There's maybe like a day in a week where I would have like a small hard time and no big ones, but after that day, it got horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, it was like, what is happening? Is it because of COVID? Is it, are we not, applying the correct parental strategies? And so my wife and I basically got a therapist, started meeting with a team of therapists and trying to understand like what was going on for Ben. They gave us all kinds of things to try and to practice, and we did everything under the sun. We did it as perfect as possible, and things continued to progress and get worse. And at the time, the recommendation was, hey, look, the only thing we could recommend for you at this point, the only thing left is that you just
Restrain them.
restrain, when rage is happening because
Yeah.
you were violent, but
Yeah.
also is to try Prozac, an anxiety medication.
Prozac did not go good. If anything, it made
Like
it worse.
anything we tried, and we don't have to go through the whole laundry list, but basically anything we tried initially, it would present as like it's effective and it's doing something well, but then things would continue to get worse and progress, basically.
Yeah.
And they literally did get worse. They got worse from just destroying a room two or three times a day. Ben was experiencing tremendous anxiety, depression. And I think he's okay with me sharing this, but he would express at times that he just wanted to die.
Kill myself.
Yeah, he wanted to die.
I don't know if you could say that on YouTube.
We're sharing your story, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, if YouTube censors it, that's on them, right?
Yeah.
We'll put it on Rumble. It's all good.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, it was so bad and it was so dark that, and he wasn't just saying this for attention. He would describe this and he would express this in a way that he was just looking for a way out. And right? Am I describing that correctly?
Yeah.
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 And and from a parent's experience, it's like it felt like there was nothing we could do. And and as he got bigger, he got stronger. It became more and more difficult. Couldn't get him to school, right? Like imagine this guy hanging on to the hood of a car trying to rip off a windshield wiper blade because he didn't want to go to school.
Yeah.
It's like, how much are you going to press to force him to go to school, right?
Yeah. And it did not help in, I think it was like grade 1 with the online school. That was grade 1 was horrible in general. Like the teacher, like in school, I felt like I was definitely learning something, but it felt like it all just was lost on me. And it made the school experience even worse, which did not go well when COVID kicked in, and then we had to do it online on a computer in a room, sitting in a chair all day, not even at least being able to talk to my friends, not even at least having recess.
Yeah. Yeah. So the experience is that like we got to a pretty dark place.
Yeah.
It affected all of our lives. We could never leave Ben alone. I had to be all hands on deck. I canceled many work trips. I canceled many events, just so that I could be there for him. I was stronger than my wife, so it was easier for me to manage Ben. But we had no answers, and that was the most difficult part until eventually we spent thousands of dollars to get to a place where we got a diagnosis and blood work done in another country to show that you did have Lyme disease. We tried.
Germany?
Yeah, the blood work was done in Germany, correct, and had to be tested within 24 hours of being taken. And then the way they treat Lyme disease in Canada is really unfortunate. But that didn't do anything, and it didn't work. And
How do they treat it?
Long-term antibiotics.
Oh,
which we're still recovering from.
Yeah, that's the reason why my body is probably more moldy than a dumpster.
Right. Well, hopefully things have continued to improve and gotten better.
Yeah.
We did eventually do more blood work after a tremendous amount of treatment. Homeopathy was one of those things, which I've shared about many times.
I remember.
And now Lyme disease is negative, right?
Yeah. I remember when you were telling me to take the antibiotics, you said I had too much probiotics.
Really?
Yeah, that's what you said.
I was trying to make sense of some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the point is that Ben has been on a really difficult journey. He hasn't experienced like a normal childhood. Many things were interrupted. He used to love playing basketball. He was about to start playing hockey the fall that he got a call to get the pins done on the hip, and that got put off. Then COVID came, right? And so hockey really never became a thing.
Yeah,
right?
When I see people playing hockey, I feel like I want to join them. I know absolutely nothing about hockey because of COVID in my hip. And guess what? The one thing I wanted to do with hockey, become a goalie. And guess what? The people who did the surgery on my hip said, "Oh yeah, so you can't do some sports like hockey, specifically being like a goalie because of the stance." And as soon as I heard, I didn't hear whoever said that, but when I learned about it, I'm pretty sure I went into another hard time. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I may have destroyed another room.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that happened many times. And I'm not kidding with people that.
Wait, I probably didn't destroy another room because I couldn't even walk.
Then at that time, but I think there's no joke. You would on average destroy something or a room or I don't know how many TVs, but 2 or 3 times a day.
I think it was 3 times that we gone.
And even beyond then, it's everybody was learning to walk on eggshells. We were all trying to avoid a situation, and everything was interrupted.
Yeah.
And then even after COVID and still going through a hard time, it's not like you could just jump into skating lessons. We couldn't even just go out for dinner, right? Because we didn't want you to be triggered, or we were insecure or afraid. But the point is that our family has come a long way.
Oh yeah.
We've done a lot of work. Ben has transformed since, testing negative for Lyme disease. Even before that. I mean, that's when we confirmed it, but we saw amazing results prior to that.
And I mean, after my 9th birthday, and I was working out in the gym, I think it was maybe a week or 2 after my birthday, and you said this exactly to me after I said that was my one golden birthday because I was turning 9 and I was born on September, which is the 9th month on the 9th day. And you said something along the lines of I'm pretty sure this was exactly what you said. Maybe it was a bit different, but 999 is a symbol of strength, and people who have that have said that their life got a lot better after that.
Amazing.
And I remember thinking, well, I'm pretty sure I did just test negative for Lyme disease, and I'm pretty sure I'm also starting 75 hard, and I'm doing pretty good. So I'm pretty sure he's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that, but that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a thing to remember for you. I think that's the other thing. This kid's like grown. He's got the best memory I know. He's incredibly intelligent. He's into robotics. He's obsessed with chess. He remembers everything there is to know about tornadoes and historical storms and all kinds of data. History. But yeah, his memory's a sponge. So your future is looking bright and amazing. And so one of the things that I think was not just, homeopathy was huge. We started homeopathy. The other thing that Ben wanted to start and embark on was the LiveHard program. Now, you might not have, I don't know that you did. Like, did you describe it? Like when we started with 75 hard, were you like, oh, I'm doing the whole LiveHard program? Or was it like, we're doing 75 hard, and then you were like, you know what? I'm going to do the whole thing.
We're doing 75 hard, and I think I was at like day maybe 32, I think. And it was like,
that's pretty specific.
I might want to, I'm pretty sure it was day 30. I remember almost every major day in my mind. And I think it was like day 32. And I was like, maybe I might do the whole LiveHard program. And then like it was just like a little small, like I might do the LiveHard program, maybe. And then by day 50, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing the whole LiveHard program. And I told you and mommy, and we finished 75 hard, took a 2-day break, went into phase 1, and I immediately felt like I was gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like from day 1 to 10, I was like, I think this is my last day doing phase 1. And I made it all the way through phase 1.
So yeah, let's for people who don't know, the LiveHard program has 4 parts to it.
Yeah.
And
hold on. I just gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, we're gonna have a pee break.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back.
Okay. I just want to throw in me acting like this, a normal person. I guess normal person, like a year and a half ago, would happen like twice a week.
Yeah, there was a time when, in fact, I would describe this to people, that there was a time when I would go an entire month and I would maybe see you, my son, for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I remember like that hour would come and like all the inflammation in your body and everything that was going on with you would just like subside. And for like an hour, you would want to cuddle.
Yeah.
You'd want to have a real heart-to-heart conversation. It was like it was like a check-in, like we're fighting through this crazy, crazy war. And we would have like this hour of like just connecting and recharging. And that was it was really useful fuel for me to remember that like deep down inside of all of this crazy trauma, my son needs my help, right? And he needs me to have his back, and he needs me to be there for him at all costs, no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because like any parent, patience can feel like it wants to run out. But I used to, I still do. I share that the spiritual principles that we learn in our lives have infinite elasticity. The thought that like we can run out of patience is a lie. That's the lie that our ego tells us, But patience, it is infinite if we choose. It's just a choice, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's right. You know, like very, very rarely, and on a rare occasion, Ben would show up and I could spend time with him. So it was bad. It was dark and it was
Yeah.
very difficult. And we didn't know how to even talk to people about it because it's kind of like, oh, you know, like, yeah, Ben's having a hard time. Like it just didn't cut it. Right.
Yeah. It's like
it wouldn't do justice.
It's like Ben all of a sudden decided that he wanted to bomb our house.
Yeah, like, you know, we've hid the knives, we did a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we started homeopathy, we did some stuff with the naturopath. We basically completely abandoned Western medicine, thank God, because that was just creating so much more damage and making it worse. And I was doing 75 hard, and Ben's like, I'm doing this with you. And so to explain to viewers, 75 hard, I'm just going to tell you guys, it is a program designed by Andy Frisella, who is an entrepreneur in the US. He's got a great podcast
In Missouri.
The Real AF. And he designed this program because he had a weight problem and he made a bet with his friends and he wanted to lose weight and he wanted to be really, really tough. Like, you know, grow his toughness basically. And so what it is you have to complete 2 workouts every day.
Two
And
45-minute workouts. One has to be outside.
That's right. And they have to be at least 3 to 4 hours apart from each other.
Yeah, he says in the book 3 to 4 hours. And
okay, so it's 2 45-minute workouts per day that have to be at least 3 to 4 hours apart, and one of them must be outside no matter the weather conditions.
Yeah, like
unless your health is in danger. So like
yeah.
For example, here in Alberta, we had a couple of days of smoke. Maybe not during this session of LiveHard, but
and then also
I've experienced it in the past.
Yeah, and also Alberta loves like it. I mean, it doesn't love to, but when it does, which is like I don't know, like 4 times a year, it gets hailstorms, and those 4 to 5 times a year it gets it, they are bad. Like you will see the day after on cars, they look like they just got rained down on like 5,000 bullets.
They got shelled, yeah. And I think that so yeah, there's a safety precaution to that. There is drinking a gallon of water a day now. So you guys know Ben's mom was not going to let him drink a gallon of water a day. And so we did some research and figured out Ben needs to drink it. What was it, 1.2 or 1.3 liters a day?
Yeah.
So that was your water goal. That was the only compromise we did really in the whole program for a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old at the time.
For my own health.
For your own health, yeah. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day.
My favorite books were Make Your Bed, The 4 Agreements, and the 75 Hard book.
Amazing.
Those were the 3 ones I'd recommend.
Yeah, and you still haven't read the David Goggins book, right? I don't think.
I'm probably gonna read that one, but you know.
So he was reading real books, and he was reading 10 pages a day. That's like crazy, and he was picking books. I mean, there's some direction, obviously. That's how they all got in there. But he was. I think Make Your Bed was the one that you kept talking about the most and loved the most. Then there is also Follow a Diet. And no cheat meals. And no cheat meals really means like if your diet for whatever reason allows desserts, you don't have a dessert. That's still a cheat meal. You just follow a diet, eat healthy.
Yeah.
So what were the diets you followed?
The diets I followed.
I think I know, but
for 75 hard, it was no sugars or saturated fat, or not saturated fats. Trans fats. Those are the dangerous guys. Like horrible. Take your body down and kill it in cold blood. And phase 1, I think I did just no deep fried food.
Yeah.
Phase 2, what did I do for phase 2?
I think you did. I mean, I always remember you doing no deep fried foods and no refined sugars as like the big ones.
I'm pretty sure I did that, which was like my hardest diet. I mean, it wasn't that hard because I got used to it in like 5 days because kids adapt to things a lot better than adults because they're still adapting to a normal life. Yeah, fun fact. And um and phase 3 was just no deep fried food again. And
And why deep fried? Oh yeah, trans fat. I guess the seed oils too, right?
yes, yeah, I didn't exclude seed oils. I excluded deep fried food, but now that I look at it, yeah, excluding seed oils might have been a better choice.
Well, either way, you minimized it dramatically by not doing deep fried
Yeah.
foods.
I think I ate like one food that had seed oils in it, and that was like Bits and Bites.
So we covered the workouts, we covered the water, the diet, the reading. Oh, and the progress pic.
Yeah, the progress picture.
So you got to take a progress picture every day for 75 days.
Yeah, and I almost failed phase 3 because of a progress picture. So happy that my body was hungry for some peanut butter on some toast at like 9:30 p.m. or else I would have failed.
Yeah, that was a close call. We'll come back to that in a second. So 75 hard, you do all those tasks every day for 75 days. If you miss a task, including taking a progress pic, you fail and you got to go back to day 1.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can go right into phase 1, which is another 30 days of 75 hard, but for 30 days. Plus, you add 3 additional tasks of your choosing.
Yeah, I did 5 push-ups, 1 minute of meditation, and 1 minute of stretching.
Nice. Visualization.
10 minutes of visualization. And a 5-minute cold shower, which sucked for phase 3. But for phase 1, somehow I tricked my body into thinking that I liked the cold showers.
The difference is probably that you did phase 3 in the winter.
Oh yeah, that's I did phase 2 like early summer.
So phase 2 is like like 75 hard. Sorry, phase 1 is like 75 hard plus all those additional tasks. Phase 2, the key thing there is that you have to take a 30-day break between phase 1 and phase 2.
Yeah.
But phase 2 is like the easiest.
Yeah, it's 75 hard for 30 days, no extra things, just 75 hard.
Just the original list.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the easiest in the sense that, one, I've never gotten that far myself.
Yeah, I'm the only one in this family who has even gotten to phase 2.
So I know a lot of people who have tried 75 hard, but I only know 2 people who've even completed the entire LiveHard program. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sage's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the challenge actually that people don't realize is that going from phase 1 to phase 2, you're forced to take 30 days. All your old habits come back in those 30 days.
Yeah.
And so the choice of exercising this mental toughness to go right into phase 2 is what gets you. And that's actually where I've failed multiple times.
Really?
So yeah, like I've done phase 1 successfully, and I've never done phase 2. I've never even attempted phase 2, which is crazy because it's like the easiest one for 30 days, right?
Like I was actually thinking of going on like a full carnivore diet, only allowing like dairy in it, sweet potatoes, and then fruits, just because phase 2 is like, this is going to be a walk in the park.
Right.
And then I
So you were thinking about actually raising the bar, making it more difficult on yourself.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Doing hard things.
Yeah.
So, and then the phase 3, which is the last phase of the LiveHard program.
It's also the hardest.
Definitely the hardest. Before we get into the list though of what it is, the key thing with phase, so if you fail in phase 1, you just go back to day 1 of phase 1. If you fail in phase 2, you just go back to day 1 of phase 2.
And you know where this is going.
But if you fail at any time in phase 3, you got to go right back to the beginning of day 1 on 75 hard, start all over again. And also the kicker is that phase 3 can only be done in your last month of the year from the day you started 75 hard. So that from day 1 of 75 hard to the last day of phase 3 is a full 12 months.
Yeah.
So if you fail in phase 3, you're going back to day 1 of 75 hard.
Yeah.
It's a long journey. Now you could do 75 hard or multiple phases of whatever in between phase 2 and 3. You can do whatever you want. But the key thing is you got to start day 1 of phase 3, 30 days before the end of the year of the challenge. So now, what is phase 3? Because phase 3 is overwhelming for me to think about. I was nervous when you were going to start it. I was nervous for you, dude. I was just like, man, how are we going to do this? Like, how's this kid going to complete phase 3? And you want to run them through the list of tasks you got to do?
So first off, let's start off with the basics. 2 45-minute workouts, 3 to 4 hours apart. One has to be outdoors at least. You can do 2 outdoors workouts. That's what I did for most of the LiveHard program because I cannot. Doing a gym workout for 75 days straight would kill me. And then
Unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary. Although I still would do a gym workout because makes these guys feel good. 10 pages of reading a nonfiction book / entrepreneur / self-help. Pretty sure there's something else in there.
Yeah, and biographies.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah. Basically just a book that will make you learn about things and not like
Entertain you?
Yeah, not like
It's not for entertainment purposes,
Yeah.
it's for growing.
Yeah, it's for learning.
Yeah.
You're not reading like Pacific Rim comics. I bring that up because there's a reference to Pacific Rim in the 75 Hard book. But then one progress picture every day, and this one almost ended me, as we talked about.
Oh yeah, right. So we said we're going to come back to that. So this kid is like on phase 3.
I think it was day like 13 to I think it's in the gap of 13 to 20.
We're basically like 2 weeks out from finishing the entire LiveHard program, and you almost forget to take your progress pic.
That would at least make it like a workout.
Right. It was like just forgetting a simple task. Now, this is actually really critical because, it's like, why do the program? What'd you get from it? And I think like from being an entrepreneur myself, the average person will cut corners. We will, the average, like our nature is sometimes we want to skip a task and we can justify it by like, it's just a small task. It's not a big deal. Right.
Nope.
But all of those little pieces, all those little steps, all those little actions that I've done in business, if they hadn't been taken, there is no guarantee, and it's likely that I would not be where I am today, right? The littlest things matter, and making sure that you exercise the discipline of execution, of taking action repetitively over and over again gets you the results. And that's why even just forgetting a progress pic on phase 3 would be a fail. So what happened? Like you went to bed and then what? Like you hadn't even fallen asleep yet, right?
No, I didn't fall asleep. I was sitting in my bed, and I was like, I'm hungry. I even have the text on my phone, like, I want to get out of bed to go make a toast with peanut butter. Like I have it on my phone, and then I go down to make my toast with peanut butter. I check on my phone just to make sure. Yeah, I've completed a day like 15 of phase 3, and I'm like, I forgot to take a progress pic.
That's when you noticed it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, everything should be done, and whoops, nope.
Nope.
Okay.
And I was like, and in my mind, I was like, thank you, stomach.
Yeah. So if you had not been hungry and you had just done your regular routine, turn on your meditation, go to sleep, you would have woke up the next morning, it's over. And you got to start all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So what else is in phase 3?
Phase 3 also has
3 additional tasks, right?
Yeah. And the water again. The water.
Right. The water's always part of it. Yep.
The 3 additional tasks it's basically phase 1, all the tasks from phase 1 with the 3 additional tasks.
Minus visualization.
Yes, minus visualization. I woke up on day 1, did my visualization, looked to check it off, and was like, it's not here.
Yeah. And strange, right? Like it's like that's probably one of my favorite parts of it all. Like
yeah. I like it. It's a nice relaxing time where you're doing your tasks and you just get to like it's almost like meditating,
Absolutely. You're creating your life, man. You're taking ownership. I like it. So 3 additional tasks, and then what are the unique things about phase 3?
Random act of kindness, which wasn't that hard. And the hardest one of them all, conversation with a stranger.
Right. Imagine, hey, my 10-year-old needs to go talk to strangers every day.
For 30 days.
Yeah. So, but we pulled it off, right? Because it doesn't have to be an adult. A stranger can be another kid.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, like, what kind of you want to share with people, like, what kind of random acts of kindness you thought of? What are some unique ones, and what are some ones that you enjoyed?
Enjoyed. First of all, I definitely enjoyed making people's beds and going out on walks and picking up garbage.
Nice.
Because when I was like age of 3 to age of like 6, I remember going on like walks and just picking up garbage by like lakes and stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
It was amazing. Feeding the ducks bread, which I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that, but that's like new stuff.
Right.
It came out in like 2022.
Okay. I didn't even know that now. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you had to come up with the acts of kindness, and it had to be different every day. What were some of the ones that you got like the most feedback on that maybe like inspired people or made people thankful, or people knew like, oh wow, you did this for me, or you did this thing?
Writing letters to people, writing nice letters.
Yeah, actually that's like, yeah, I remember you wrote one for mommy that was pretty nice too. Like,
Yeah, and I
super
wrote one
nice.
to Caleb too.
You wrote one to Caleb.
Yeah,
Oh,
put it
amazing.
on his pillow.
Oh, amazing, dude.
And I walked into his room, saw this drawing of a house that looked like it was done by whoever, done by like a professional artist. Grabbed one of the pencil crayons because I didn't bring a pencil up. Wrote on the floor, BTW. That's a great drawing.
Oh, it was a drawing he was working on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, I think that was one of his projects. Yes, I remember.
He definitely
Cool.
got an A+ on that.
And then talking to strangers. So like what were some of the challenges or difficulties that you faced with that?
Number one, I'm a kid.
Right. Actually, yes. And I will say there's times when he went out for walks on his own, and then he would try to like find a stranger in our community that is also going for a walk or walking their dog, and then be like, yeah, I talked to a stranger. Oh, how did that go?
And most of the time, there was 2 cases where I was walking towards somebody and they sped up, just trying to walk away from me. Like,
I don't want to be seen talking to a kid.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be a stranger. Yeah, fun times.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts now that you've completed LiveHard? Like, what is the aftermath for you? What's your feedback on it? Would you recommend it for anyone?
I think I'd recommend it for most people, actually. I think it's a great program that you can benefit a lot from. If you struggle with, I think definitely with like stuff like depression that just makes you feel horrible. When you're doing even doing 75 hard, which looking back on now, even though it looks like a hard task at the start, once you do phase 3, it's like, yeah, that's 75 cupcake.
Another reference to the book.
Yeah. But yeah, like by only like I think I experienced it during like day 17. And I know this because of how good I felt. I woke up in the morning and was like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
I am amazing. This is the true life that I desire to live. And little did I know, that wasn't even the rest of it. Into phase 1, completed that, felt even better. I felt amazing. And I don't think this is just a me thing. I think everybody that does the program benefits from it. I think like in the book it says this, once you complete 75 hard, you feel like a king. And yep, that's definitely true.
So from someone who struggled with depression, suicidation, anxiety, fear of people feeling like there's something significantly wrong with you, causing you to feel less than. How do you feel today?
Honestly, I think I'm probably in the best place I could be right now. I think I've experienced something that many people don't even think is possible. I think I've experienced something that probably has elevated my life greatly. My life every day is just 10, not even 10 times better, like 100, maybe even 10,000 times better than it used to be.
I am very emotional, and it's great. I think you are a powerful example, dude, and that's why I wanted to do this episode with you because you are one of the greatest miracles that I have witnessed and seen someone go through from such a dark place to a place where you have taken complete ownership of your present life today, facing the choices you have in front of you and executing with action and doing that consistently over and over again, no matter how difficult it was, because it's not like he didn't have hard times still. They were significantly less, but they could have derailed him.
Yeah.
And I would just remind him, like, Ben, this is a choice that you get to make right now.
Yeah. And also, to throw in this, when I completed the LiveHard program, that was not my first attempt at 75 hard. I think I had like 5 other attempts at 75 hard. And something I find funny is that they all ended off at a hard time on day 6.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they ended off at the exact same time.
Yeah, it's true. You would have a hard time. You would have like was what we call his episodes, and then he would fail.
And they were all on day 6.
And
And on this one, day 6 came around. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna invite my friend over to do some stuff. We forgot to do the thing that I wanted to do, and I went berserk. And you know what I did with it? I just went and read a book. I just went and read a book. That's it. That's what I did.
Yeah, and it's you're a powerful example because no matter you displayed that no matter how difficult your life might be in the moment, no matter what kind of negative emotions and feelings that you're having, you could just execute an action and change the reality that you were experiencing.
Yeah.
Like I saw you do this over and over again, right? Through the whole journey and process. And honest to God, dude, like there are times when I thought like there's no way this kid is finishing the program. Like that's the craziest thing ever. And you nailed it. Like you crushed it, man. Right? And I believe that it was instrumental in carving new pathways in your brain and developing new behaviors that created and influenced the reality that you experience today. And that paves the path and opens the door for you to understand and believe that anything is possible. And so I wanted to do this episode because your story is so important and so valuable for other people to hear. This is not just about other kids who are struggling. I think adults, the viewers of the show, are going to get so much out of this, just hearing your story.
If you saw episode 1 to I think it was like 3, if you're in any position where you are just struggling and feeling like life is at the lowest of lows and you're never going to get anywhere, just it's a decision you can make that will make your life amazing. And sadly, not a lot of people would even try it, but hey, the people that do it will experience, I probably the the best transformation in their life ever.
Yeah, buddy.
No
Thank
matter
you.
how low you are, you will rise up to what will feel like the top. And it probably is the top, you know? I mean, I'm still not at the end of my journey. I have probably
Hopefully like 80 more years to go.
yeah, the average life expectancy of a Canadian is 88 years, which is that's horrible. That's not that good. So I'm hoping that I at least my life goal is to live to 100.
Well, dude, thank you so much for doing an episode with me, for doing a very vulnerable episode with so much transparency and honesty and sharing your story. I hope you guys get something out of this. Please comment, subscribe, share, like, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're going to post this on your YouTube. We'll post on your YouTube channel as well. And I'll put the link to your YouTube channel in the info below so you guys can support his channel as well. He's trying to get that going.
Yeah.
Buddy, thank you so much for coming. Give me a squeeze, man.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I love you, man.
There's probably a lot of other things to talk about. We might have to do a follow-up.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
All right.
So bye. Probably see you in maybe a couple months. Depends on how long it takes.
All right. See you guys.